Welcome back to the show. We've always talked about this on the show, and that is, finding the right fit for you when it comes to fitness. And sometimes you need a little bit more motivation. You need to find something new and something fun. And my next guest has all of those combined for you. I'm joined by Jason Brown. He's the co-founder of Eastside Jiu-Jitsu Club. Welcome to the show. Great to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
I love the backstory here, Jason. You got to tell our viewers at home a little bit about, how this club came to be.
Yeah, so obviously there's been a lot going on in the world over the last few years. COVID was really tough on a lot of small businesses, and the gym that we were born out of was really no different. The opens and closes, and eventually the gym that we were training at was forced to close. It was just too much for the business to be able to keep up with. And we developed a very strong core community of folks that we really wanted to see if there was a way for us to keep them together, keep them training, because just the vibe and the community feel of our gym was just something that we felt was really special. And so my co-founder, Matthew McKay, who was also the head coach for Jiu-Jitsu at our old gym, and myself decided that we were going to try to figure something out to see if we could keep our core group of folks together.
I love it.
And so that's where kind of Eastside Jiu-Jitsu Club was founded. Kind of a business fell by the wayside, which was very unfortunate, but we were able at least to preserve things with like our core group.
Yeah, and it's a difficult industry through the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
Because it's hard to do social distancing with something like jiu-jitsu,
It's
right?
true. It's
like martial arts in general.
Yeah,
right?
some would say impossible to do it. And there were things that you tried, but it's really not the same, because really I think with a lot of these things in martial arts, the special sauce really is the community and really the closeness that you get with the folks that you train with and in and day out. And so, yeah, we're glad that we've been able to preserve that and really starting to build something new with the new club that we have.
How would you describe jiu-jitsu, compared to other martial arts? What sets it apart?
So the thing that sets jiu-jitsu apart is that it's really about subduing your opponent and causing like the least amount of damage. So like I'd say like for me growing up, most of the martial arts that you were seeing was really the striking martial arts and like Bruce Lee and like those sorts of things where like you're really going to try to like put someone down. Jiu-jitsu translates to the gentle art. And so a lot of what you're looking to do in jiu-jitsu is subdue your opponent, get them down, get them in a place where you're safe, without necessarily needing to do a ton of damage to that person. And so, like even with our kids, we're teaching them and like our anti-bullying and things like that we're teaching them there. It's really, first step is try to not get involved. You use your words, you try to disengage. But if it happens, you get them down and then you hold them until help can come. And that's it. You're not really looking to inflict pain. You're looking to make sure that you're safe and move on from there. So I'd say that's the biggest difference.
Yeah, and you mentioned kids, so that that's one of your programs. You work specifically with young people, but you have a variety of different programs. Tell me about some of the other programs.
Yeah, so our kids program is probably the biggest that we have at the moment. I have two daughters, they both train, and that's what actually got me into martial arts, was taking them to the gym for them to train and being like, I've always kind of thought about this. Let me give it a go. And so we had a journey kind of bouncing around in schools trying to find the vibe and the feel that really felt good for us. But yeah, the kids are what got me into it. We're really, really proud that we have the only women's only program on the east end of the city. Because we also know like martial arts, jiu-jitsu, those sorts of things can feel intimidating coming in. And so we wanted to create a space for folks coming in to be able to come and train in an environment that feels comfortable with other people that are the same size as them and all of that. And then we have our regular jiu-jitsu programming. We have some programming for competitors, and then also our kickboxing and some programming in yoga as well that we offer for folks as well.
Yeah, you and I were both saying we need to step up on the yoga side of things, right?
We have the programming, and I don't go nearly enough. Leanna's in the other room probably watching,
shaking her head.
Sorry,
Leanna.
right now.
I need to do it too. I was telling Jason that off camera. Do we want to do a little demo here? Do you want to subdue me? I don't know.
We're not going to subdue you. We're going to try to do a demo that actually has practical application outside of the dojo. And so it's the winter, and in the winter, the ERs, emergency rooms, they often fill up with people with slips and falls. And actually the first thing we teach people when they come into the gym is actually how to fall. Is because again, before you start learning how to be offensive and before you start learning how to like do the moves, you really have to first learn to keep yourself safe. And so when we start all of our matches, everyone starts standing up, and so they're facing each other. You're in your athletic stance. So what we're teaching our kids first, we're teaching anyone who comes in, is how to fall. So you're not reaching, because this is usually where people do the damage. You reach out, you're hurting elbows, you're hurting shoulders,
Right.
and that sort of thing. And so what we do, you're gonna get really tight into a ball.
Okay.
Okay, you tuck your chin, you're falling back,
Oh, I see.
and you slap the ground.
And okay, so
You
this
slap
is,
the ground,
So
you
you're
slap the
still
ground.
using your arm, but
You're slapping it.
not extended.
You're not extending it, you're slapping
Gotcha.
the ground to disperse the energy. That way, your elbow, your arm might feel a little sore, but you're probably not gonna break a hip. You're definitely not gonna hit your head.
Yeah.
And so we drill that over and over and over so folks feel comfortable with falling before we get into anything else. And that's really where you really work to minimize the injuries. The majority of injuries happen in stand-up, and so we wanna make sure that folks are really, really comfortable knowing how to fall the right way.
Yeah. Well, Canadian winters,
Yeah.
right? I mean, you
slip
were
and fall,
mentioning.
and
Yeah.
you learn to break fall, and it's like we joked a little bit. We talked off camera where even professional football players are going to learn martial arts so that
That's
they can
right.
learn how to fall the right way to protect their heads from concussions. So very, very important.
What do you think sets your club apart from, say, other martial arts clubs, other fitness studios?
So, say like our tagline is kind of "Come as you are, leave
Okay.
as more." And so one of the things that we think is very important is that people are allowed to be individuals while learning the sport.
Nice.
And a lot of gyms, a lot of schools want you to come in and they really lock you in right away. They lock you into a contract. It's very hierarchical. One person is in charge. Everyone else has to kind of follow what they're doing. And we want people to be able to bring themselves, their personalities,
Right.
wear the gi that feels comfortable for you. Really, it's about the training. It's about learning the martial art and learning it in a way that feels good and feels comfortable for
Well, and
you.
you guys got cool outfits.
We
That's
do.
why I grabbed this,
We do. We do.
Because
We
you're
do.
working with a great manufacturer, right? You got all the...
Yeah, we're working on it right now. So this is some of the
I
gear.
love it. Yeah, it looks really good. Tell everybody at home where they can find you, Jason.
Yeah, so you can find us Instagram, on Facebook at Eastside Jiu-Jitsu Club. You can also find us at martialartsorleans.com. And if you want to come by, we're at 1803 St. Joseph Boulevard, Unit 117.
Thank you so much. Really
Thank you for
appreciate
having
it.
us.
We'll be right back after this. Good job, man.